Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. And Chelsea have suffered a massive blow to their hopes of qualifying for the Champions League, and whereas Newcastle have taken a giant step towards Champions League qualification for next season, as Newcastle defeated 2-0 defeated Chelsea 2-0 at the St James's Park. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, this is the problem with Chelsea. This has been a problem with Chelsea for the entirety of their season, that they are so hot and cold. You just don't know which Chelsea is gonna turn up. Last weekend they were brilliant against Liverpool, even though Liverpool, in my opinion, were still on holiday. They were still celebrating their title win. So in my opinion, Liverpool were not really that good themselves. But Chelsea, I think they had a really great game against Liverpool. They go to the Europa League, Conference League semi-final. It was a really good game there as well. They commanded. They really did not have to do that much in that game because they had already won the first leg. But the performance there was also, they were in complete control. They were in complete, commanding performance. They were in complete control of that time. Not once did you think that they were gonna do some sort of a miracle against Chelsea. But today, I mean, it felt like this is a completely different side who has been really struggling, and this is why you have to sit back and you have to realize, and this is why I have said that it is gonna be, Chelsea fans need to have patience, and a lot of football fans all over social media, they make fun of Arteta, this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, whatever BS that the fans come out with. But it is a process. You are going to have seasons like this. We had seasons like this, and Chelsea are going to have seasons like this, and you are going to have games like this where 1 week you are going to be brilliant and the next week you are going to be trash, which were Chelsea were today. I mean, they were really poor. Newcastle had a field day with them. The first half, I mean, Chelsea and Newcastle go ahead and they take an early lead, courtesy of Tonali. They could have had a penalty during that time, but it did not matter because Chelsea during that, during the phase of play, lose the ball outside their box. Newcastle get the ball, quickly moving the ball, but gets to play the ball to the right hand side. Cross comes in and Tonali scores 1-0 inside 2 minutes, and at that basically set the tone for the rest of the game. And Newcastle, the way that they play today, I mean, they are oozing confidence at the moment, and the best thing, in my opinion, for Newcastle is that the advantage that they have is that they are just playing one game in a week, and most of their opponents alongside them who are trying to get into the European competition, apart from Manchester City. I mean, Chelsea have games in Europe as well, so it is helpful for Newcastle to have just one game a week and try to qualify for the Champions League this season. And the way that they played, the way that they move the ball, you can just see, the confidence that Newcastle have at the moment. They are playing beautiful football, and they were in complete command. They had the majority of the ball as well. They created good number of chances. I mean, Chelsea's goalkeeper had a good game in my opinion. I mean, he made a couple of great saves to keep the game at 1-0. Otherwise, Newcastle could have gone ahead and double the lead. Chelsea get set down to 10 men. I mean, that basically killed the game in my opinion. I mean, up until that point, Chelsea were, even though they were as second best, they were still competing. They were Chelsea were making the moves. It's not like that Newcastle were completely dominating. They were in control of the game, but Chelsea were showing that they can hurt Newcastle quite quickly. But the moment that red card scenario happens, I think that basically, in my opinion, killed the game. We go to the second half, and Chelsea, I think, were much better in that second half. They were much composed. That red card incident happened, and that sort of disjointed the way that they were playing. But second half comes in, they were much better. They created more chances in that second half, and we know it often happens that when the team goes down to 10 men, usually that team somehow surprises the team with the advantage. And today it felt like Chelsea might make a comeback, and if not to win the game, they might end up getting a draw out of it. Pop had to make a couple of great saves in that second half, but in the end they were not really able to score. And then, I mean, the advantage of having an extra man came out at the right and the end. I mean, Bruno Gomes, what a goal it was. I know it took deflection and all, but to the way that it was set up, the way he comes in from that left hand side, the way he beats his mark and tries to take the shot, I mean, it was a beautiful goal in my opinion. I know it took a deflection and whatnot, but the way that it was carried out, I still think it was a great goal. It becomes 2-0, and that basically was it in my opinion. I'll be right honest, I really think that Newcastle deserved to win that game. I don't think Chelsea did enough in that game. I think they were in the entirety of that 90 minutes, there was not a single phase of play where Chelsea were like in control of that game. That basically summed up the day for them. They had they basically all their chances mostly were from the counter attacks. They never really had that control, or they never really where they dominated anything. There was never a scenario in that game. Newcastle on the other hand, of course, they had a lot of the phases where they were in control, where they dominated the game, where they dictated the play as well. At Chelsea on the other hand, they didn't, and in the end, of course, they lost the game. And this is a big blow for Chelsea. If I'm, let's be very honest, Aston Villa won last night as well, so they are basically on, equal on points now. Then Arsenal are going to play later on. That Arsenal Liverpool game, Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan, I'm looking at this game and I'm hoping something happens in that game, because now Newcastle, if Arsenal don't win that game at the moment before the game, Newcastle are just a point behind Arsenal, so that game is going to be very impressive. Newcastle have, in my opinion, till now they are the biggest winners of the weekend at the moment, because they are the only ones who have won. City drew, and Aston Villa, of course, Aston Villa got the big winner. So it is still complicated. I said that after the City game as well, that every single game is gonna be very, very important. Every single game point is gonna count when you have so many teams fighting out for the same about the same thing. Every single game is gonna be very, very important. And Chelsea losing is a big blow to their chances. And Aston Villa's win last night was important for them, and now Newcastle winning. In my opinion, I think Newcastle are going to qualify for the Champions League. I think the fixtures that they have, if I had to put my money on at the moment, I would say that Arsenal and Newcastle could be my favorites, to finish in the top 5. There's a chance I would say City can finish as well, but then Chelsea, Villa, Forest, one of them is gonna be my, I would say, two of them are gonna be the one that are gonna drop out. One of them is gonna be the fifth team, I would say, in my opinion, at the moment. But as I said, everything changes after every single game. Arsenal might lose today, and then they are gonna be in yet another problem as well. They are still in a problem, in my opinion. They should not have been here, but they are still here. City drawing yesterday, nobody saw that. This is the thing, because I can sit here, I can say that in my opinion this team can go, this team can go, but until and unless the games are not going to be over, and unless and until the teams don't get the points that they require, nothing can be certain. Nobody expected a City not to win against Southampton, but they ended up not winning. They ended up dropping 2 massive points, and now today, nobody thought that Chelsea, the week that they were having, the way that they were playing the last couple of weeks, that they were going to go out and give a performance like this against Newcastle. So as I said, everything keeps on changing, but a massive win for Newcastle, and massive 3 points for them, and a dreadful night for Chelsea. And the last 2 games for each of these clubs are going to be quite important, and they are going to be quite interesting. I just cannot wait for the games to come, because it is so tense for every single club. So yeah, that's it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Chelsea's performance, what you guys thought of Newcastle's performance, and in your opinion, at the moment, with everything that is happening, who do you think are going to be the top 5 clubs, apart from Liverpool, of course, who are going to be the next 4 clubs in the Champions League from the Premier League? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.